Welcome to part 3 of our deep dive into Richer, Wiser, Happier by William Green. In the previous episodes, we explored how legendary investors think, live, and succeed. Now, in this third installment, we'll focus on mindset, patience, and what separates the truly exceptional from the merely competent in investing and in life. Let's begin with the idea of resilience. One of the consistent traits Green observed in all the top investors he interviewed is their mental toughness. Resilience isn't just about surviving a market crash, it's about thriving through cycles of uncertainty. Sir John Templeton, for example, made his fortune by investing when others were panicking. When everyone else was selling, he was buying. Why? Because he trusted his process, his values, and his research. This brings us to the concept of independent thinking. William Green emphasizes that the best investors do not follow the crowd. They think for themselves. Howard Marks, co-founder of Oaktree Capital, insists that if your behavior doesn't deviate from the norm, your performance won't either. Great investors are willing to look wrong in the short term to be right in the long term. They're not afraid of underperforming for a quarter or a year because they understand that true value takes time to be recognized. Another central theme is patience. In investing, patience isn't passive, it's strategic. Charlie Munger once said, "The big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting." Green recounts how investors like Munger and Buffett hold on to quality businesses for decades. They focus on compounding wealth over time rather than trying to time the market. Patience is also essential in managing emotions. Emotional discipline separates great investors from average ones. When markets are euphoric, many people buy high. When markets crash, they sell in fear. But investors like Joel Greenblatt or Monish Pabrai maintain equanimity. They stay grounded in rationality, not ruled by fear or greed. That kind of emotional steadiness requires inner work, meditation, reading, solitude, whatever it takes to build calm and confidence. William Green also highlights the importance of simplicity. Great investors simplify their strategies to focus only on what matters. They cut through noise, ignore short-term headlines, and focus on long-term fundamentals. Nick Sleep, one of the lesser-known but extraordinarily successful investors featured in the book, built his fortune by finding just a few great businesses and letting them grow. Another insight from Green's interviews is humility. The world's best investors are often the most humble. Why? Because markets are unpredictable. Even the most brilliant minds get things wrong. Humility protects you from overconfidence, which can lead to disastrous mistakes. It keeps you learning, adapting, and improving. And speaking of learning, these investors are voracious learners. They read constantly, not just finance, but history, psychology, philosophy. William Green emphasizes that understanding human behavior is key to successful investing. Ray Dalio, for instance, built Bridgewater into a giant by creating a system based on principles and radical truth. But behind that was a deep study of history and psychology. Let's not forget lifestyle. Green's interviews reveal that true wealth isn't just about money. It's about autonomy, peace of mind, and meaningful relationships. Many of the investors featured don't live extravagant lives. Instead, they value time, simplicity, and purpose. They design their lives to be rich in fulfillment, not just in dollars. In summary, part 3 of our journey through Richer, Wiser, Happier brings powerful lessons. Think independently, stay patient, cultivate emotional discipline, keep strategies simple, remain humble, be a lifelong learner, and above all, remember that wealth is more than money. Thank you for watching. If you're finding value in this series, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. In part 4, we'll dive into legacy, how these investors measure success beyond the markets. Stay invested, not just in the market, but in your growth. See you in part 4. See you in